with My Hero Academia, this time Season 3, Episode 19. Yes, we are progressing with this season. We are going to finish it off either today or tomorrow. I don't know. I'm hoping for today. But yeah, we'll just see how this goes. Last episode, we had the end of the first stage of the test, and it came down to the wire. Everyone in Class 1A passed, with Ayayama and Ida getting the last two. It came down to, there was 10 spots left and there was 9 of 1A classmates who didn't pass. And so, yeah, everyone managed to get that, with Keimi Utsushime getting the other spot. So, yeah, now we have our 100 students who are going on to the second test, and that is going to be a rescue operation, because in the end credit scene of the last episode, we saw the arena that everyone was just fighting in. It got blown to hell. So now everything's in wrecks, everything's in ruins, and it's basically going to be a rescue operation now. Save the bystanders trapped in the chaos, and you will pass. Only we don't know how many of those 100 students will pass. So, yeah, we barely scraped by with all of Class 1A passing the last test. I don't think everyone from Class 1A is going to pass this test, but we'll see. So, yeah, let's just not waste any more time, and let's just get into Season 1, Episode 19. Season 3, Episode 19 of My Hero Academia, starting now.
Undertake rescue exercises and save the bystanders who are trapped in these disaster sites.
Little kids and old people?
That's so dangerous. Why are they here?
These specialists have been trained as professional persons in need of rescue. They're very popular. Introducing the Help Us Company, also known as Us for short. The Help bystanders have dressed up like injured victims and will be located throughout the disaster site.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll be judging how well you keep them safe as you go about your mission.
This looks familiar. It's like Camino Ward.
Yeah.
I wonder if they based it off that.
What's the rating?
XXX.
Go on.
That fox in the bodysuit from Shiketsu. I saw her hiding in the rocks with Midoriya, buck naked. Midoriya!
What are you doing while the rest of us were just trying to stay alive, you bastard?
What does it tell you? Nothing but a joke.
Cool it! The casual greeting exchange between a man and woman whose sexual relationship is intense several paces!
This town looks like that you had the knowledge with her. And there's that guy.
Yeah, he's got it in for Todoroki.
That's it. Hey, you with the collar. Did I offend you somehow? Well, the thing is, son of Endeavor,
That's it.
I just can't help but hate both of you. You've changed a little bit since the first time our paths crossed.
Something wrong, Yoarashi?
Nope, not a thing, sir.
See you out there.
Sure. Out there? What is that supposed to mean?
You're in fish, I told you,
Is that what you think?
That was actually super scary! Please, you're acting disgracefully.
Why do I feel so flustered? I was fine when I was fighting earlier. But now...
And it feels like jealousy.
We're started.
Let's go!
You're going in your own
Again.
Why are you damn extras always following me?
You just wanna?
Oh no, this looks bad. Where is he?
This looks bad. That points off your score. The first thing you should do is see how bad my injuries are and if I can walk. People with hero licenses should be able to judge a victim's condition in an instant.
Are the members of Hawk the ones who are going to be scoring us?
Nagamasamura, his quirk, Extendo Hair. He can grow all the hair on his body and manipulate it at will. The only bad thing is how easily it gets tangled. That was awesome, Mora! You're amazing! Here's the first aid station. Anyone who needs rescuing is having the worst day of their lives. And the first thing you said was, "This looks bad"? Seriously?
Fear not, citizens. Hawk has arrived,
But I am here.
because I am here.
Over there!
It's awkward as hell.
I'll definitely save him. I can carry this boy to the first aid station myself. You guys, go on without me.
All right.
Let's do this!
This buzz in my chest. What am I doing?
She's in love.
You got a crush on someone, right?
So do I.
This has been building
I
for
bet
a
you also
while.
wanna be- I'll focus on working just as hard as he does. And reach my dream.
Okay.
What's a test without a few surprises? I hope they didn't think things would be straightforward.
Oh, I recognize that shape. Oh no. Oh no.
My hero name is Gale Force! Rescue
Gale
exercises
Force.
get me pumped up! You're gonna be safe with me!
It's still reckless! Minus points!
He's trapped by debris. I'll float it away.
Poor girl. She's gonna lose points that way.
Please, wait a moment. Look at first, let's use a support beam to prop up this wall. It'll take some time to get everything into place, though.
No worries, you can leave that to us.
Let's go.
How's that for a brace? It's not perfect, but it's not a horrible plan either. When there's a large-scale disaster, there are never enough rescuers to help those in need of saving. That means the work should be as fast and efficient as possible. If they keep going like this, we won't be able to grant them licenses.
This isn't good. We're just standing around and watching.
I'll be of much more help if I head to the river.
Yeah,
I'll join you.
the water zone.
Me too.
Guys, work together?
Cool beans.
Sure.
Yo, Coda, can you use animals to look for people who need rescuing?
Yep.
We should also work together with other schools. That's how we'll save lives.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you say it was too dark in there? Allow my twinkling to save the day.
Perfect. Thanks.
That's a shocker. I didn't think you'd be the first to help. But then, we do love that pose.
Young Rosen.
My arm hurts pretty bad.
Mine too. Save us.
Shut up! Save yourselves, you white arse!
Minus points.
What the hell did you say?
Jesus!
Heroes must act alone, helping the victims and performing first aid. Once the professionals show up, the transition should be seamless. Heroes must multitask. They can't just rescue. They must adapt.
Here comes the ORCA.
What happened?
Hey, look.
Tell me, one of the heroes, can you rescue people and fight at the same time?
That's Gang Orca.
He's a strong pro, currently ranked number 10. Impressive.
He's in the top
He's
10.
also ranked 3rd in the list of heroes who look as though they should be villains.
He's got the look, but he's awesome.
Hero candidates at the scene should continue their rescue efforts while also suppressing the newly arrived villains. We're gonna have to save people and battle?
Are you serious?
Even for a pro, this would be difficult. They're going a little far, I'd say.
Aizawa thinks they're going a bit
How
far.
will you react? Will you fight or protect? Help or run away? What would a hero do?
Okay. That went by fast, that episode. Okay, that's the end of that episode. Okay, let's get the ranking out of the way first. Unfortunately, I don't think this episode was as good as the previous couple, but we'll see. Okay, wasn't better than episode 11, wasn't better than episode 18, wasn't better than episode 17. Was it better than episode 10? I'm not sure, I don't think so. Episode 9, no. Was it better than the 1,000,000% episode? Unfortunately, I don't think so. Episode 16, what was that? That's when we had... Oh, it was the beginning. Well, the beginning of the exam. Okay, I think this episode goes just above that one. So episode 19 goes above episode 16, but below episode 4. Okay. Yeah, a nicely done episode. Because in this episode there wasn't like a feel-good moment like... Last episode we had all of Class A coming together to get those last few places in the exam. When all of Class 1A passed. And the episode before that was the speech with Aizawa about Midoriya and Bakugo. This episode didn't have one of those, so that's why it went lower. And plus, it has to go lower than the 1,000,000% episode, because that episode was insane! But still, let's see. Okay. This episode, it started off with the end credits scene that we had at the end of last episode. And we got introduced to the the Help Us company, people who are paid, people who are hired to play the role of victims in a disaster zone. And I suppose they're using using the events of Camino Ward as a basis for this. They're looking at Camino Ward and the disaster that happened, and they seem like we could use this to help. So I like that they do that. It's a very realistic thing to use past tragedies to basically for the new generation to learn from the old generation's mistakes and past events. Then we were back in the ante room with all the past students. Sero cannot keep his mouth shut, and he blabbed about Kami's and Midoriya's moment to the worst two people. Kaminari and Mineta. Do not talk to those two people about any females whatsoever, because then they started harassing Midoriya. They full on assaulted him, asking questions about what happened. And all the while, throughout this episode, Uraraka's just in denial about it. Oh, I suppose in this episode she accepted that she likes Midoriya, but she's refusing to act on it. She won't react. She won't act on those feelings because all Midoriya is focused on right now is becoming a hero, and in her mind, there's no room for anything else. So until the well, I don't think the training to be a hero will ever be over, but for now, that she's just deciding not to act on it whilst Midoriya's got his eyes focused on being a hero. So that makes me think that we're not going to get the relationship anytime soon, which is unfortunate. I'm still waiting for the first couple to show up. I mean, I don't know how many ships we've got in this class just yet. Me personally, there's obviously Uraraka and Midoriya. I can see Yaoyorozu and Todoroki being a ship. I can see that. I don't know who I'd ship anyone else with. I don't know who I'd ship Sue with. Don't know who I'd ship Ashido or Jiro. I mean, maybe you can get Jiro and Kaminari in that, but yeah, you could have Hagakure and Ojiro because they interact a bit. So maybe that could be a thing. But yeah, I'm still waiting for who's going to be the first one. Which two are going to be the first students to get together? Who is it going to be? But yeah, because it seems kind of weird that you sexualize all these girls and then you don't have a relationship show up anywhere. But still. Also in that scene, we had Yuarashi and Todoroki talking to each other, where Todoroki is just confused, like, did I offend you in any way? What did I do to offend you? You seem to have it out for me and me alone. And yeah, like I suspected a couple of episodes ago, he's got it out for Endeavour. Yuarashi has got it out for Endeavour, and he can't help but hate Todoroki because he's got Endeavour's eyes. But then he said something that was kind of weird. He said, like, you're different from the first time we met, but you've still got your father's eyes. So he's met Todoroki before, but where? Maybe Todoroki will remember it or something. I don't know. We've got to get more backstory on that. We've got to learn what's what with that. And so then the test starts. There's people hiding it. There's fake bystanders and injured everywhere, and yeah, 100 students are being sent out to help. And then Midoriya in Class 1, he comes across the first one, the guy pretending to be a little kid, and he just rips into them straight off the bat. Because, yeah, granted, Midoriya comes up and says, oh crap, this looks bad. Yeah, this guy just rips straight into them. And once again, you've got to treat this like it's a real thing. You can't go up and say this is bad or anything like that. Because once again, like they said multiple times in this episode, minus points. Yeah. So Midoriya decides to take this one guy and decides to try and extract him to the safe zone, which we'll get. I was about to say something, but we'll get to that later on because it came later. It cut to what's his name, Shishikura in the stands talking about how the people are acting. I don't know who that random guy was besides him, but we decided to go on off a little random tangent about how the world is being affected by Stain's influence, along with All Might's retirement. So I like that Stain still has an impact on here, even it's a full season after we last saw him, he's still got an impact. And even the heroes are noticing that, yes, some of what he said is kind of true. So they're trying to up their game and try to create better heroes because they somewhat agree with what he was saying. The way he did it was wrong, but his ideals wasn't inaccurate. His ideals were quite correct. It's just his execution was bad. His literal executions were bad. And so after that we got the class started working together to on how to extract people from these disaster zones, and we even started getting people from other schools working together as well. Like Aoyama decided to light up that hole with something because the other guy couldn't see. And Midoriya, when he extracted that person to the safe zone, then someone else from another school checked on them. So yeah, I like the idea that we have to start working with the other schools now, because it did feel kind of I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of felt like a gut punch when we got introduced to all these new characters in these other schools, and then we immediately had to start fighting them. So the chance to work alongside them now and get more time with them is appealing. It's appealing. It's an appealing idea. But then you've got people who are not so good at the whole rescue thing. Case in point, Bakugo. From the second this came up, I was like, yeah, Bakugo is not going to do well on this. I think Bakugo might fail this exam. Because he's not a rescue guy. And he's definitely not got a good bedside manner. He's not got he's not got a personality that suits for a rescue. He doesn't work with comforting people. He can't do it. He's incapable of being nice. But yeah, Kirishima and Kaminari just decide to follow him again. And they wanted to help. And in the exam, also, these people who are hired to be bystanders, they have prioritised, and that there are some that are supposed to be very badly injured, and there are some that are not so very badly injured. So they have to not only rescue people, but also prioritise them. Like saying, who's more injured than that? If you're more injured than that person, then I have to help you before I help them. So yeah, I'm not good at quick thinking. I would fail this exam. I would have failed. I would have failed the second. I wouldn't have even got into a hero school whatsoever in this. I'm just weak as fuck. I'm not athletic in any way. But I hope to change that soon. I'm gonna go and try and go on a weight loss thing. But yeah. But the problems have only multiplied by 1,000,000%. Because not only do they have to rescue people from these disaster zones now, they've got to multitask and they've got to defend the bystanders from villains now, who are being played by Gang ORCA and his crew. Gang ORCA, he's got such a cool look. Once again, he ranks 3rd on the list of heroes that look like villains. He's got a cool, badass, evil look. yeah, he's cool. Even Aizawa thinks this is being a little harsh on them. So, I can only imagine what's going to happen. Like, Gang ORCA said it himself at the end, like, are you gonna defend the people or are you gonna fight the villains? We know what Bakugo's gonna do. I don't know what Midoriya will do. I mean, Midoriya and Bakugo are two sides of the same coin, so I imagine if Bakugo's gonna fight, Midoriya's gonna defend. So we'll see how this goes. I want to see how the other classmates deal with this. I want to see who decides to fight and who decides to defend. Because one thing I have been thinking about since Aizawa's speech about Midori and Bakugo is that they inspire the rest of the class. I want to know who falls on which side. Because in that episode you had Yairozu, and she thought about how Midoriya would proceed, not how Bakugo would. She thought about how Midoriya would proceed. So she's on the Midoriya side. I want to see who would be on Bakugo's, who would go with Bakugo's way of thinking, who would rather attack than defend. So we'll see where everyone lies in this. And I'm so interested to see what happens. And thankfully I won't have to wait too long, because in a matter of time I will be going on to episode 20 and we will see who passes and who fails. If that happens next episode, I don't know, but we'll see what happens. But for now, that is all we've got for this week of My Hero Academia. Until next time, we are over and out.